In Australia, we've got deadly animals aplenty. We've got funnel web spiders who'll murder you and your family. Under every second rock is a redback spider, and they'll kill you just because, I don't know, they're bored or whatever. We've got invisible brown snakes who'll bite you on the foot, and you'll be dead in 7 minutes. Just like that, kaput. We've got the world's deadliest creatures all over the place. We've got magpies who'll steal the eyeballs from your face. But at least we don't have AR-15s. We've got great white sharks who'll ascend from the deep and rip you in half with their razor-sharp teeth. We've got saltwater crocs who'll death roll you to death, and sea snakes who'll gladly snatch your last breath. We've got a blue-ringed octopus, no bigger than this, that just sits around in rock pools waiting to kill kids, and even the platypus, a cute beaver duck thing, has got a spur on its ankle that'll kill you in one sting. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic teens. We've got stonefish and stingrays and sea urchins and shit, and hectic fucking homicidal box jellyfish. These jellyfish, they aren't even sentient beings. They don't even really do stuff or know about things. They just float around on the whim of the currents, being pointless, non-cognitive, murderous cunts. And if that weren't enough in terms of natural hazards, here in Australia, the sun causes cancer. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of suicidal teens. And at least we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change old laws. We've got bull sharks, cone shells, saltwater crocodiles, honeybees, European wasps and blue-ringed octopi, death adders, blue bottles, redback spiders, tiger sharks, tiger snakes and lizards that'll bite you. We got sea snakes, taipans, cassowaries, copperheads, all the creatures of the land and sky and sea that want you dead. Toadfish, stonefish, irukandji jellyfish, bull ants, centipedes and ticks that cause paralysis. Fuck, we don't have AR-15s, and thank fuck they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic suicidal teens. And thank fuck we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change some law. A law that was written 200 years ago, in a time when it took 3 minutes to reload a single round of ammunition. We knew nothing about depression, and you couldn't fire 45 rounds in 60 seconds. And there wasn't even such a thing as automatic weapons, and there weren't 31 mass shootings monthly. But what would I know, 'cause I'm from another country.
I always enjoy that. I can't stop laughing when I watch that. Hey everybody, can everybody hear me? I need to set a few things up here. Let me just look at this. No. Oh, so. How do I is that better? All right, let me. All right. Sounds
Hello,
good.
everybody.
Okay. Hey Ing.
I'm free.
Hello Doodlebug.
Hello, Casper. Hello, Ing.
Welcome to your first appearance on Aussie Reels.
Thank you.
It is 14th of April here at 11 a.m. About the only one that's in the same time zone as me at the moment would probably be MJM that I see. Hey, everybody in the chat. I just need to. I forgot to mute my YouTube.
the sugar plum. Hey, sugar plum.
The sugar plum.
No,
Is the
no, no.
sugar plum?
No,
Can
she's
I
not
just
doing
can
yet.
I just summarize it? Like she did this one time in her Discord. She said, "Hey now, sugar plum assholes." She basically just covered all of us in one title. Yeah. Oh,
I love when she does that.
Oh, yeah. It's like her thing. It's so cool. And one night I got 2 shout outs. I was very special.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
I never got 2.
He never got 2.
One is enough. I can live with one.
All right. All right. So what's going on here? Hang on. Okay. So, I have to use Chrome
I just want to give
now.
a shout out to K-Town and Count and Copper Star and Ross Dog, Mabel. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, I it's a bit weird. A couple of my people are missing as mods when I already have them as mods, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Okay, because I fixed all this. I updated my list last night. I don't know what's going wrong. I probably added some random people as moderators on my channel. Picked the wrong YouTube channels.
So Ross has a range. You must have made a mistake there. But it's okay. I love you, Ross. Love you.
No mistake there. Ross is always a mod.
Yes.
Anyway, I fixed up a few people, but yeah, I've got more than enough. I've got more than enough people to take care of stuff. So, but just a message out there for the mods: if you see anything nasty, I don't want that Daddy Shark person in here. If you see them, just get rid of them, please. They're not welcome. They're not welcome here. So, Doodlebug, welcome. Tell me what's going on with you? Are you you're bunkered down, isolated?
Yes, I've been out maybe twice in the last 4 weeks, so I'm kind of getting tired of it.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I miss in
my small county, we have maybe 75,000 people. We've had 2 deaths, and we have about 80 people infected.
Oh, okay. So how's that on the grand scale? Like, that's not too bad for your little city or whatever?
In our state, per capita, we have the highest infected.
Oh, really?
Okay. So I'm just sort of trying to get my screens organized. Okay.
What about you, Ing?
Well, here in BC, we are pretty low, considering the capital. But
the hell was that?
The population. That's not my parrot.
It sounded like a dog got stuck in the door.
I don't know what they were.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have a dog, unfortunately.
So, Ing,
Canada is doing not too bad.
But Ing, you're on like the.
Go ahead. Ask.
Sorry, you're on like the north, the east side, right? No, west side of Canada.
No, west coast.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I'm an hour and a half away from Seattle. I'm right in between. In between Vancouver and Seattle.
So you're like an absolute.
But an absolute West Coaster.
Yeah, but you're a long way from, say, Toronto or somewhere like that, right? You're a long way from them.
Long way. If I fly to Frankfurt, half of the flight time I could fly to Toronto. That's how far it is.
Oh wow!
Because when you go to Germany, you pretty much go almost over the North Pole, and when you have to head east, that's half the way to Germany.
Oh shit!
So it's very far. And then we have right now 25,000 cases in all of Canada, and half of it's all in Quebec.
Yep.
So the rest of the country does pretty good considering. So.
Yeah, this I read this morning that America had, I think, hit over 21,000 deaths.
Yes, 23,661 right now.
My God.
But you can actually trust those numbers. I think there are some countries are not up to date. Most of the countries don't have the same way that they check up, so they don't even know how many are infected right now, because you can be infected and not show any symptoms for quite some while. So I think that America's numbers are very high, but they're all truthful. That's how I see it, and I believe Canada as well.
Yeah.
But, when
Oh
it
my
comes,
God. Can you believe this asshole neighbor of mine is making probably as much noise as he possibly can? Can you hear
He's
it? Can you hear it?
a little bit.
Oh my God.
Not anymore.
Oh, he like, you name it, he does it, right? He gets up there on the roof with his fucking washer. He's got some sort of, he's got one of them blowers that's like a petrol type blower instead of like a electric one. So it sounds like he's revving a car all the time. He whippersnips so close to the fence, the metal fence, not the wooden one.
Yeah.
And he hits the whippersnipper on the fence always, like constantly just hits the fence all the time. So it's unbelievable.
Well,
Here he goes again. And he's running some sort of like compressor or something. I don't know if he's got something in his backyard or something, but the compressor keeps coming on like every 10 minutes. Like it's just automatically pumping something up. Oh, it's driving me insane.
You said in your intro you don't have AF-15s. This is a moment when you need one. This has its downsides too. Doodlebug, may I ask what state you're from?
Oh, she's muted. She's probably she dropped out a couple times. Well, I could probably tell you roughly, but I'll let her answer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. She's probably talking to somebody. Oh, here we go.
Here, I'm just gonna move closer to my
What happened, Doodlebug? Does it keep dropping out on you? Oh, your router.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to my modem and router. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, the Minister of Health in Canada said that she thinks we won't have more than 26,000 on the 16th of April. And that, she said, will be the peak, but we already have almost 26,000. We have 25,680 according to the update. And it's the 13th, so we are almost there 3 days before that. But it seems to slow down in Canada.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Hang on a second. I have to mute myself.
Great. Now it's just me and not Casper and not Doodlebug. And I don't even respect the chat. Let's see. I have to go into the chat. Any questions? No questions? Good. No, yeah, well,
okay, I think I found a good spot.
Good.
Oh my God, I have to apologize to the neighbor. It's not my neighbor, it's my mother.
Well, then,
she's got
tell
this
her to stop right now.
Yeah, she has. She has this like huge vacuum cleaner that she does the carpets, but also it does the hard surfaces as well. And I thought it was like the blower, but it was Mum cleaning up or something.
You know what?
Anyway,
she's just thinking, why did I raise him? Why?
Yes.
Right now,
yes. I said, Mum, I'm doing a live, and she just looks at me like I'm from outer space.
Like my wife earlier when I said no microwave. I'm online with Casper. He's gonna kill me. He doesn't have an AF-15, but they have spiders and great white.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, I can't stop laughing.
Seven of the most deadly animals there.
No, don't you worry about it, Doodle. Don't worry about it, okay? Nikki, I sent my I did that Casper Exposed video, so I sent a copy of it to a few people, and I sent it to Nikki, right? And I thought, let them have a look at it before, other people probably see it on my channel and stuff like that. So the next time she goes live, I said, Nikki, did you see my video? and she starts going on about people with no eyeballs. And she goes, "I'm sorry, Casper. I can't get past I couldn't. I can't do it. It's terrible." I didn't know what she was talking about at first because the intro is just something funny. But I honestly don't think she even watched the video. She couldn't get past the intro.
You know, I thought when I saw the video, I thought, "Oh no, someone is exposing Casper."
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, and then I thought the one who put up that exposing Casper video was someone else.
Oh,
but then I noticed when I tried to block the guy, it was you. Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it.
Nah, there's a whole story. There's a whole backstory behind it.
I heard about it, but it's all to tell.
Yeah. There's a whole backstory about it. But I just decided that I got to a point where I just sort of thought, like, you know what? Like, I was never purposely hiding for any reason. There's a whole sort of backstory about the Casper the ghosts. You know, it wasn't a ghost as in, you know, you're never going to find me. No, it was never about that. And as I said before, I've been on cam before. Before I came to the YouTube sort of community, there used to be an Elisa Jordana sort of show who used to go out with who used to go out with Benji Bronx. So that's because we're all, as you know, we're all stone related in some way. Well, most of us are. And then Elisa started doing her own show on a platform that's no longer around. And then there was like different people that started to do like after shows, like they do with, you know, with Ross and with Cosmic and all those, you know, they're doing after shows and that sort of thing. And there used to be an after show run by somebody, and I used to go on there all the time, and I was always on cam. It was never an issue. I just decided that it was easier, like, to talk, because I never used to talk that much until I started doing a podcast. Now I can't shut up. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not respecting.
Decided to grab it by the balls and do it himself.
Yeah. I inspired other people too. So there's other people that I'm hearing that would possibly do the same thing. So I think that's pretty cool. But mine was
maybe
different.
Not in their undies, but yes.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do for the attention. You know, I mean,
it could have definitely been worse.
Hey, you know what would be funny if Jamie like did a stream and then said that I set that up. Wouldn't that be funny? Like I did my own profile and stole my own pictures and put it and leaked it out. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah.
I think that ship has sailed because she showed that picture way before you went.
Yes.
So,
I noticed the other night on Ross's stream. I'm not sure which one. I think it was probably Fight Night. I'm not sure, but it was really like late in the night and something, and everyone was sort of spaced out. And then sort of Cosmic said again to Jamie, what about Casper? What about poor Casper? You put his picture out there for the whole world to see, and I'm listening and I'm going like, oh no, not again. And then Jamie goes, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
I trusted him.
No, this is what she said. She goes, I apologize for that. Well, guess what? She didn't apologize to me.
No, of course not.
No, yeah.
No, that was my breaking point. I even, with Neri, good. It was bad, but fine. But if someone backstabs Casper, who else could there be who will not fall into disgrace one day? And so that was it.
No one.
There's no one out there.
Yeah, no one. And I'm surprised you guys haven't, like, especially Ross and Cosmic and all that. I'm surprised you guys haven't cornered her as to where her mods went, because there's about 3 or 4 of them that have disappeared, and she didn't say anything about it.
Solange, the last time she was on, the Welsh princess, she cried while she like locked off, and I haven't seen her since.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was pretty sad.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, like, was that the stream that that Breakfast Club was up talking to Jamie, and then
Yes,
Solange came in. Yeah, and then there was something going on between Breakfast Club and Solange about striking each other, and then I think somewhat Jamie might have got caught in a little bit there, but in the middle. But I think Breakfast had like pretty much
cornered.
Apologized to what she might have thought was wrong, and Solange just wouldn't sort of come to the party. So
No,
and
she
then
wouldn't.
and then she got so upset that Jamie didn't back her up. I guess I think that's how it went down.
Well, she
That's
actually
kinda
went
how I saw
after
it.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh well. Doodlebug,
Yeah.
may I ask what area are you in? You don't have to be specific, but coronavirus.
Yeah, no
considering.
problem. Yeah, I'm in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Which is
Land
exactly
of
the same.
bluegrass and racehorses.
Nice.
What I discovered, because I had to put, people in the world clock thingy on your phone, and what I discovered was that that Toronto and no, I'm wrong again. There's an hour difference. Okay, so because I know where Nikki is and a couple of my other friends up Toronto way is an hour behind. No, hour in front of you.
She's probably on Eastern. I'm on Central Time, so I'm the same
Right.
as Nashville, but Louisville is actually an hour ahead of me.
Yeah. So, Ing, what time is it now there?
In Vancouver, it's 6:23 p.m. That means it's 9:23 in Toronto.
So you're on
And it's
LA.
eight-
So you're on
It's
LA time.
8:22 here.
I'm LA time. Yes, I'm West
Yeah.
Coast.
Yep, got that. Okay, I remember that. All right, cool.
Yeah, so it's 8:23 here.
Yep. That's not too bad, eh? Look, this is
And
a
you're
decent
in the
time.
future, Casper.
I am in the future. Just ask me how the day went, how your day's gonna go. I might be able to tell you.
Is it the 14th?
So what's
it's
it
the
like where you
14th
are,
already, yeah.
Casper?
Sorry?
What's it like where you are as far as
With
the
the
virus?
all right. So I listened to a few broadcasts this morning, and excuse me, we've gone over the curve, and we're way down, like way down, like over the curve and way down. But it's only been, I think, 3 weeks. So I think they've got it to a point where the hospitals can easily cope with the amount of people that do show up, because there's I think we've only had 100 infections maybe in the last couple of days. So that's quite good, but I don't know how long they're going to keep the restrictions on, because I got a funny feeling maybe they're just going to start like lifting restrictions slowly.
Mhm.
So because we got a game out here called Rugby League, and obviously there's like billions of dollars in broadcasting rights on Channel 9 and Foxtel, and they're talking about bringing the football back at next month, maybe at the end of next month. So you got to remember that's a lot of teams, a lot of people involved in that, and they have to get it approved by medical people and probably the government as well. I don't know about like clubs and pubs and that, because I haven't been able, like, they killed soccer. Like, I wasn't really playing this season, but they killed all sports basically. So they killed the soccer, they killed my social outlet of going to the club. That's gone. So yeah, I just been.
Now, do you call it soccer there instead of football?
Yeah, soccer with a round ball. Yeah.
Okay.
Football is like originated, I guess, from the UK. UK call it football, and out here, the English people that are in Australia still call it football, but I call it, like, the general term out here is soccer.
That's because that's what we use, soccer.
Yeah, because you got rugby, you've got rugby is completely different from rugby league. So rugby league got sort of shortened to league or NRL. So yeah, there's like, it's a mixture. It's a real mixture of names that have got thrown around.
It's so important that league is enough.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of money. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of money in the broadcasting
Oh, I believe.
rights.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, I can
unbelievable.
imagine what the sports teams have lost in the stadiums and stuff here because, I mean, they're used to having, 60, 75,000 people in a stadium every week, and it's not happening.
The Italian soccer league was bankrupt before COVID,
Oh,
and now it looks bad. But in Europe, everyone's chipping in.
well, the Germans and the Dutch are great in football.
Yeah, we have
All
a
right.
history.
I was just going to the chat because I haven't looked in the chat. It's really hard. I understand where Nikki comes from now. It is really hard to concentrate on a conversation. And I guess the more people you have up, the more you're listening. And it's really hard to read and understand all the chat. And
But
understand.
since we talk about Nikki, is she in chat? I haven't.
No, she's not. But I should
Okay.
find out if she's around.
No, but Toronto is really a tough place too because 1,500 medical workers that work in Detroit and in the United States actually have to cross the border every day.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So to this day, so there is no for those are essential, so they are allowed to pass.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
So
yeah.
Okay. So we've got like quite a few states, as you know, Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria, and Northern Territory, and Western Australia. They shut all the boundary all the boundaries. So basically, and it's really funny. I don't know if you ever have a look on maps or whatever, but
yeah,
New South Wales comes on the coast. New South Wales comes like a long way up the coast before it suddenly becomes Queensland. And I can drive, like, if I go to the coast and drive for like maybe 2 hours, I'm almost in like New South Wales. So what happens is that you got all these people that live in New South Wales and just cross that small boundary to go to work every day in Queensland. And what happened was when they closed the boundaries down, they weren't letting anyone through. So they were basically screening car by car. Could you imagine the traffic jam trying to just to get to work and crossing the? So then they came up with this idea. Oh, you've got to like apply for a border pass. Like these people so they can just, because they had like a lane that all the trucks can just drive through. They were letting all the trucks go through, but all the cars had to be questioned by the police. So then these poor people were taking 4 hours to get to work. Like that's ridiculous. So now they've got border.
Thought he was going to get a ticket.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's a funny story. So anyway, the other night, right? I have a friend that I met, like a couple that I met at the club, and we've just become good social friends. And her husband has a little bit of a brain injury from a heart attack that he had previous years, and he's not like all there, but it's mostly fine, but it's just something there that makes you wonder, like, oh, it's not quite. Anyway, he had a fall. He was in his house and he turned around and basically just fell over, and he had like oh yeah, I see you in there, my mate. I'll send you a link on Skype. So he had a fall right in the kitchen, and he sort of like landed, and he fucked up his pinky really, really bad. Like bone was popping out and stuff. Anyway, so Kate Kate rings the ambulance, right? It was just a low blood pressure thing. He didn't like have another heart attack or anything. But anyway, he gets carted off to the hospital, right? So, and they didn't want her to go because of all the CV and trying to keep people out and stuff like that. So she's sort of sitting there, and then she's messaging me saying, "Oh, John's been taken away in an ambulance again, blah blah blah," and So I said to her, okay, well, keep me informed, and if you need anything, just let me know. And then so she was messaging me through the day, and then I think it was that night or the next night, like because when they book you in they had to book him in for like surgery just to fix his pinky and that, and the rest of him was fairly fine. They just reckon he had low blood pressure. So anyway, he goes, she's at home, and then I said to her, do you want me to come over, or do you think maybe I should just distance myself with this CV? I said, technically we're actually allowed because it's just two people. I said, but still, like I feel nervous about it because I really hadn't gone anywhere except for work and back. And she goes, oh yeah, if you want to come. I said, look, there is a risk because I could be a carrier and I don't know, like I don't have any symptoms. And she said, no, she said, up to you if you want to come over. Anyway, so I decided to go over, right? So I'm driving over there. And then as I'm leaving my house, Mum says to me, you do know they're checking people. And I said, yeah, I have heard of that. I said, but I think I'm pretty right. I've got a good excuse. As long as they believe me. As long as they believe me, right? I said, I can't.
You're meeting a woman.
Yeah, I'm meeting a woman. Yeah. So anyway, Mum said, well, when I was driving home, they were pulling up every third car. You know, I'm okay because I had my nurse's shirt on, blah, blah, blah. And I went like, yeah, okay, Mum. And I'm feeling nervous now, leaving my house. You know, this is all new. You know, I'm starting to think we're in like communist country.
I get it.
So I jump in the car, right, and I'm driving and I'm thinking, okay, which way am I going to go so I can avoid, you know, as much police as possible or whatever. So I went like the back way and I'm driving along. And I'm nervous, right? And I'm thinking, oh, just use the excuse I'm going to the supermarket, right? Because this person only lives like 40 minutes away. So yeah. I'm driving along, and then I realized it was Good Friday. Those
shit.
All the supermarkets are closed. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll go back to the original plan. I'm going to see a friend whose husband went to hospital, and I just want to give her some company. It's only 2 people, which is allowed. I should be okay. I'm driving along, but I'm still nervous, right? Anyway, I'm driving along, and I'm about 3/4 of the way there, and I look in my revision mirror, and there's 2 police vehicles fucking roaring up behind me with every light on they could possibly have. I fucking nearly shit my pants, and fucking I pulled over, I'm thinking, no, they can't be after me. 2 cars? Like, what's... Anyway, they zoom past. Like at a matter of knots, you know, they're obviously going somewhere. Oh my God. I had to sit in the car, right? I got my hand on my chest because it's a $1,300 fine. Like if they don't think you have a good enough excuse.
You know where they went? They
No.
went for donut. They went for donut. They said, you know what?
I thought Ross was the only one that went for donuts at that time of night. No. Anyway, could be wrong.
Oh no, the Popo loves Dunkin' Donuts.
All right, I'm gonna invite a friend of mine from Asia up, and he's been a friend of mine for a long time. So I've just got to work out how to send him the link because I've forgotten. Okay, yeah, I remember now. And he'll come up and tell us he'll come up and tell us what it's like over in Asia. He's a bit secretive with his location, so I don't know exactly where he is because he changes it all the time.
Asia will do because no one else is from Asia here so far.
You know, I shut my Skype down and I've forgotten my password. Isn't that a motherfucker?
1, 2, 3. That's what I'm guessing.
I'll have to do Twitter. Okay, shit. I haven't written down. I haven't written down right. I have all my passwords on Post-it notes on the computer, but if I go live or something, I shut those fuckers down because I don't want to make a mistake and show something that I shouldn't.
Dox yourself again.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm pretty good at that. You know, when I sent, I think I told you that I sent like donations, and I think I screwed up. I didn't know that it sends personal information when you do your when you send money, like stuff. Like I don't know if it does it in America, but apparently it does it here.
That's why I don't donate and I don't accept donations because I don't even want to know where you live.
Yeah.
I'm not desperate yet that I need donations, so screw it.
You know what? Here he is. He's had like 1,000 Twitter accounts too. So fucking hell. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm told.
Oh, it's like I've got like one thing. You know how people have all these alts, all these different accounts. Nope, not Casper has one Casper account for freaking nearly everything.
I couldn't even do it. I have 2 accounts and I already mix them up. You know, I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. All right, Fancy. If you're listening, Fancy, I've sent it to your Twitter DM. Because I couldn't get into my Skype without checking my passwords.
Casper, are you afraid something will come up here and give you a little show?
What the reason why I don't put the link in the general chat? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, the first time I went live, they got me. They got me the first time. Not with, they didn't get me. No, they didn't get me with the tiny whiny penis. They got me with the friggin' ass.
That's worse.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it didn't look that pleasant. I mean, I didn't go back to check, but it looked a bit hairy, and I don't know whose it was. It wasn't
I
pleasant.
think, to be honest, the worst I saw was on Plumies.
Oh, really?
No, maybe it was over in the drama club somewhere. It was very interesting.
What do you mean? No, I want to
It
know
took
more.
it
I
took
want to
me a
know
minute to
more.
actually figure out what it was. It was like, what is that? And then I was like, holy shit, that's what that is.
That's it. You can't look away either. You know, you want to know
No,
what it is. It's like a car crash on the highway.
it really is. It's funny, but it's sad because it like stops their stream. But
Totally.
it's like, wow.
I let my stream go through. It didn't get flagged or anything.
You know, even YouTube knows Helen.
I'm not saying mine was Helen though. I'm not saying mine was
Hey,
Helen. No,
who would ever think it's Helen? No.
No. Helen doesn't do that. Ask him. He'll tell you. He doesn't do that.
He's always asleep or working. Why would
Yes,
he do that?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
no, what I saw wasn't real. It was like some kind of movie with props.
Oh, I see.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Fancy.
Oh, let me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
That's better.
Yeah, very good.
Am I speaking okay? The volume?
Yes.
I'm having some difficulty with my internet. It's lagging, so I don't know if it's the lockdown. I've been listening to the conversation. Very interesting conversation you guys are having. How's it, Casper?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, long time, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been trying to catch up with you and Jeff, but Jeff is hard to catch. You there, Fancy?
I don't know. For some reason, he seems to always get me on Skype. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, there must be a little bit of a delay. But yeah, no, he talks to me on Skype, but it's always when I'm asleep or something, and he hasn't quite worked out how to cross over the times, because there's always a small window, like now, for instance, with my other friends, that you can catch up.
Yeah. I don't know. He has insomnia, so he's always up and he tries to be up when we are. But I think when he doesn't sleep, he gets confused, and then he just starts typing, and he gets excited about when you reply to him. I don't know. I haven't been on these live stream activities for a long time now. I think it's been a month.
Yeah.
Since this Corona thing happened. So like a lot of things have stopped working. The shops are closed. The streets are empty. We only allowed to go to the park, 2 at a time. So I don't know. It's almost as if everything has just paused for a month.
Have you had anybody, around you or close to you that's had this virus?
Well, the thing is, where we are, there's no testing going on, and they're giving us numbers. They're saying like this. Right now there's about 900 people that's affected in our city, but the problem is we don't know how true those numbers are because nobody's been tested. So it's like, okay, so we have this suspicion that probably everybody in the city has it, but people are just not. They're hiding it. So that's why they had to enforce this lockdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it sounds like some of the rules that you were just talking about, like the 2 rule and all that, it seems to be almost everywhere like that. It just seems to be like that's just what they're doing worldwide now. All the governments are probably watching each other and applying the same rules.
Yes.
Yeah, but for me, my concern or my complaint about this lockdown is that if they knew they were going to lock down the country, right, all over the world, they could have at least given people like some kind of a voucher, like food voucher for the month, or or something, so that people could just sustain themselves. Because now what happened was, when they locked down and then people started running to the stores and, like, emptying the shelves and things like that. So people that didn't get paid on a certain day, when they got to the store, the shops were empty.
This sounds familiar. Like, did you hear about our toilet paper crisis?
Yeah, we're still going through that kind of thing, and I think that the whole thing, the way they decided to, like, just lock down the countries, I think it wasn't thought out. It was just done in a rush, out of panic, like, because they didn't know what they were dealing with.
Yeah, my mum came home with like a I don't know, 6 or an 8 pack yesterday, and she looked so proud. She was just so she's like putting it on the kitchen bench like it's some sort of medal. Like, look at this. Like, it's like,
What's that? Alcohol, beer?
No, toilet paper. More valuable thing than anything at the moment.
Oh, the liquor
Better than cut up newspaper.
Yeah, the liquor stores here are all open, and also late at night up to 10 o'clock. That seems to work pretty good.
Wow. I don't know.
Wow.
I think we're all shut here, even the liquor shops, I think.
Oh, here the
the
liquor
liquor
stores are an essential worker.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, our club that I go to, it's actually like a bowling club, like, lawn bowls type club, but they've grown in size, and they're like big restaurant and gaming and all that sort of stuff, and outdoor area. And they've opened just the bottle shop so that they can move their stock, so, because you've got to remember, these clubs and shops, they invest a lot of money in the stock. And if it doesn't turn over, even at a slower rate, it'll just kill everyone. It'll kill the businesses. Like, could you imagine I know a lot of the casual staff at the club, like most of them are girls and stuff, and they're all like casuals, and some of them might be going to uni and that sort of thing. Before they shut the club down, they did social distancing, like, within the club, right? So what they did was, they basically put a sign on every second poker machine so that you couldn't be within like 1.5 meters. So, and if you wanted to play the machine that the sign was on, you had to make sure there was no one playing next to you either side. And they did that for about a week.
Still not 6 feet, 1.5 meters. But for the gamblers, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, if everybody just wears masks and rubber gloves, why do we need to social distance, like, the way they're doing it? I mean, why does it have?
Because here, it's because everyone doesn't follow the rules. So
yeah, pretty much.
Is that why?
Yeah. My friend went to the supermarket the other day, and you know how I don't know if this is happening everywhere else, because I mean, look at us four. We're all from like different parts basically, and they put X's on the floor to tell you where to stand, like, from each other. So if you're going to like the delicatessen or something where they have to serve you something actually within the supermarket, they got all these X's. And this woman came right up behind my friend, the same friend whose husband went into hospital, and Kate turned around and said to her, "Oh, excuse me, do you mind standing back a little bit?" Pointing to the crosses. This woman This woman didn't give a fuck. This woman did not give a fuck, right? Even the person serving said, "Excuse me, could you please move back?" This woman basically just said, "Oh, fuck yous," and then they asked her to leave, and she just threw her shit on the floor and walked out.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
we also have the X's. We also have those X's as markings on the floor.
Yeah.
And we have like these lines, and then there's a mark there, and you stop there. It's like almost like a measuring tape. There's like like track and field events. It's almost like we're having a track and field. So you stand here, and the next person. Yeah, we're having that. And at the counter, they put like a glass shield around the cashier. So now, and the cashier has to. Yeah, it's like a war zone where we are, and it looks actually quite ugly now. Like, people are looking paranoid, and like if you just like walk past somebody, and if you like too close to somebody, then it's like that uncomfortable moment, like it's fear.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like this whole thing is like actually psychologically damaging people now, Because like when the quarantine is over, then is it going to go back to normal, or are people really now going to be afraid of each other?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I actually like. Does this sound weird to you guys? Like, I actually like the social distancing, especially like when I'm at the supermarket check-in. I don't like people freaking standing over my shoulder.
It's true.
Yeah,
At
maybe
our
the supermarket.
supermarkets, there's a tape every 6 foot, and you can't move inside that block until someone ahead of you moves into the next block, and then you can only go in one direction.
Oh,
But what I'm
that's
saying
good.
is, like, what about social life? Like, for example, the people that want to, like, for example, want to have a relationship with somebody. How does that affect everything now?
Are you talking about like the hookers that you used to get?
No.
A little hard with social distancing.
No, I mean, like, say for example, like
Maybe
you
not
get
for
the,
Casper though.
no, like you get the young people, like you get the young people right now. They're single and they're tired of being single. Now this isolation has made them even more lonely, right? So when the quarantine is over, they're gonna say, "Nah, I don't want to be alone anymore," and then they want to start looking for a partner or girlfriend or boyfriend. Then how's that gonna work out for them? I mean, isn't it gonna be more difficult now?
I think we're
Mm.
moving into different times for sure.
Like, how is people going to actually get married, for example? Like, people are going to be paranoid. No, you need to get tested before we go out with each other. And,
Yeah, I think after the
okay.
COVID-19 thing comes down, I think people should be allowed to get married.
Yeah.
I think
And come close forward. You know, maybe the least what they're gonna learn is to take a better look before approaching someone. Maybe that's what we learn.
Yeah, maybe,
well,
maybe.
I think fancy the hookers should definitely be essential services, you know, and I think during this time, right, where you're staying at home, and if you have like a family or you have a partner or something like that, I think you're basically just keeping it within yourself. But I read that during these times, there's two things that are going to happen. There's going to be more divorces and more babies.
The COVID babies.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
maybe. Yeah, I've heard that. But the
For
thing is,
me,
I don't
there's
see.
just for me at the moment, there's just more Pornhub. That's about it.
Yeah, but it's
hoping to
still
improve
Social
that.
distancing and all.
I'm hoping to improve that in the future.
No,
Yeah,
one
but it's still very antisocial. It's prison. Like now, for example, if you go out to the city, say for example, you go to the bar or a nightclub, right? Now you won't be able to do that. So where are you going to get your entertainment from? Like physically, like you want to see things in the real. I mean, I think the internet's going to end up making people, how do you say? It's going to take away that human feeling, because now everything is really going to be artificial.
yeah.
Like how you going to know what it's like to actually hold a girl's hand or talk to a girl face to face and have real experience with a person? How you going to actually, will you remember how to do that?
Have a look at that pin. Have a look at that pin comment. Hartley, I need some social distancing from my bush.
Lucky if she can reach it. I mean, I haven't seen my bush in years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Jesus.
No,
No, but
I'm just saying. And what about females? I mean, I'm sure the females are going to be feeling very lonely. It's going to be like very difficult. Some females, they want to get married before a certain age and have kids, but now with all of this corona stuff that's going around, it's going to be extra difficult.
Yes, I'm not very happy with the CV situation.
but
It's just
Fancy Dog made a good point when he said, I think the countries, they went into panic mode with the shutdown. And Canada, actually, the government yesterday, they said that businesses that laid off people should hire them back. And the Canadian government is planning on paying up to 75% of the wages, because they want those people to be back in the workforce when the lockdown is over. Now, I think it's a little bit optimistic, but I think that the countries went into a panic mode, and now they try to do some damage control afterwards financially, because Fancy Dog said that they didn't have food.
Yeah,
vouchers.
they rushed into it. They
weren't
didn't
prepared.
plan it. Yeah, they didn't plan it properly, and it created a global, on the stock exchange. It
Yes.
created like a real devastation, even for the rich people. I mean, like there's big companies that's going bankrupt because of that situation, that lockdown situation. And like
Absolutely.
I honest, like some of the lockdowns is unrealistic. It's not normal. Like they have doctors that they got a cure for not a cure for AIDS, but they got medication for AIDS that makes people live for a very long time.
Yeah.
So how come when this kind of virus, all of a sudden they don't know what to do? It doesn't make sense.
That's weird.
They say that all these social distancing practices and restrictions is basically buying time. So they're saying that it is buying time for the vaccine to be created. And
Yeah,
they're
but
saying
I mean, like the vaccine is they're going to inject that virus into your body. That's what the vaccine is. Do you know that?
I don't know exactly what it is, but
Yeah,
obviously
the flu vaccine is
it's a
when
very
they
low.
inject
Yeah, but it's a very low dosage.
very
of it.
low,
Yeah.
but the thing is they're still going to test that on other human beings, and that's not a guarantee that it's actually going
Well,
to work.
they've already started human trials in many different countries.
Oh, totally.
So how many people are going to want the COVID virus in their bodies? So every year you're going to have to get a flu shot, which is a COVID flu shot. So
Yeah,
every
that's
year you
right.
have to walk around. So who's going to take that injection? I mean, that's ridiculous. We avoiding it. We going on quarantine. Everybody's trying their best to not get affected by that thing. But now they're saying, okay, the cure is get injected by the virus. We put that into your body, a weaker strain. Now, what if that thing mutates and then it kills more
Exactly.
people?
Exactly.
It will kill more people.
Well, they're
Well,
saying that they
there
won't be
might
able
be-
to. Sorry,
there
they
might
won't be
be-
able.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. They're saying basically from the broadcast that I watch is that they won't be able to completely get rid of it until the vaccine is available. So take that what it means. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and they said it might be waves, like this coming flu season this year, that it may flare up again.
I think it could flare up easily if you restrict these restrictions. If you release these restrictions too fast.
Too early, yeah. Well,
Yeah, too early. Yeah.
They don't know what to do. We don't. They don't.
Yeah, but I would say I would go for the pill, like an antivirus pill or something. I don't trust the vaccine because the vaccine is another way of mass controlling people. Like if you don't know what's in the vaccine, then I would never take that vaccine.
So Fancy, do you believe in having the general flu shot?
I've not ever
The
had
flu
one.
shot. I mean, I've never really entertained the idea of believing that the flu shot actually works, because once I took the flu shot and more sick than ever before, and it was very frightening.
I've heard of that happening.
And then I said to myself, well, if the flu shot makes you sick for a couple of weeks, then what is the purpose of actually having a flu shot? So I stopped taking it. Like it just didn't make sense to me. And then I just went to the chemist. I got flu capsules, and that worked like wonderful. And I was like, wow, I should have just done this. And I was back to normal again.
Yeah. Hey, Doodle, have
Yes.
a look at my pinned comment. How
saw it.
how cute is that picture of Copper Star Misery?
I
Look at
know,
that.
she's adorable, and that little
the-
eyes over to the side is just like,
Mhm.
and the little nose, it's just so
Mhm.
cute.
Yep, I saw that. I think she used that in Misery Chat or something, and I saw
I've
it.
only seen that
And
one.
I
Just
saw,
love it.
I saw it there, and I going like, "Oh my god, look at this little bunny!"
And it's her personality perfect, it really is.
Ah, look, she's
So have
like,
you
"You're
been
all full of it."
So, Keza, have you been on the you now thing with what is-
No, not lately. Fancy. I saw a Twitter. I don't check my Twitter as often these days, and by the time I check my Twitter, there's like 50 notifications. I'm pretty fully into YouTube now. So
Oh, okay.
Jeff had like a comment there saying he was going live on new now, and it was fairly recent. And I went in there and he wasn't there. So I've tried.
But is he still doing the thing with Agent Mud, drinking and all that?
No, oh, no idea. No idea. I mean, you would think. I don't even know if he's like at home all the time now, or whether he sort of was able to go back to work at GM or whatever. Not sure. Haven't spoken to him for probably 4 to 6 weeks, maybe.
Oh yeah, then it's more or less the same. Yeah,
I tried to get him. I tried to get him on today, but he's not answering.
Oh yeah.
So
Sure.
You know, when we were talking about no weddings here, I mean, there's not even funerals for people, which I think is, you know.
Oh, where are you from? Are you from the States, right?
Yes, I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. And how
Fancy
did you
wants
end up
Fancy
with a
wants to
German
get to
guy?
the States. What?
How did you end up getting a guy from Germany on here?
He's not German. He's Canadian.
Really?
That's even worse. See, how did you get a guy from Germany? He's Canadian. Really? That's even worse.
Ink transcends all boundaries.
Yeah,
That's right.
No,
I met all these Fancy. I've met all these people basically in the different sort of YouTube communities. Well, basically one YouTube community, but I don't even know what we're calling it these days. What is it called? True Krama or something?
Krama.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I said. I remember I did tell you, Fancy, that I was leaving that other shit behind me. Moving on.
No, you know, I'm glad that you moved away from that Kermit stuff.
Yeah,
that frog
absolutely.
stuff. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you sound much better now. Your words are flowing freely, and you're talking sense now. And
Fancy used to get upset with me every now and then.
Yeah, no, because like I like now I can hear that you being yourself now, and there's like new stuff, and it's interesting listening to your show nowadays. And
yeah, it's a different crowd.
I can like you know, how do you say, tolerate the conversation now with. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe the guys were thinking that I was a bit too serious, but the crowd that we used to hang around with, they psychologically damaged us. So I became paranoid in a way about who to talk to and what to say. So you know, it took me a long time to actually.
Fancy, you have a question in the chat. What is the Kermit community? Can you explain to everybody?
God,
Can you explain how it came from the Elisa Jordana, Benji Bronk, Howard Stern?
God. Yeah. If you want to put it like in short, it's a bunch of people from the States, mostly Americans, and they pretend not to be trolls, but they actually are trolls because everything they do to people where they set you up for like a humiliation moment. You know, it's like they basically groom you to be humiliated by a group of people and then put you on the screen and then record that shit and then pass it around like a virus to everybody and then take your photos of you and Photoshop it. You're wearing a dress and you in gay pictures and stuff like that and like some crazy stuff. And
you know how I think it? I think it's like an American soap opera, but just done on YouTube.
You know what? It's funny because Ing's sitting there thinking to himself, well, that's what I do to Jamie.
Yep. Who are you talking about?
making memes and all that. That's what some of these people do to people.
Yeah,
anyway, it's a group of people that basically just stayed together after Elisa Jordana stopped doing her show, and they went from one platform to another. They were using Blab, and then they were using Rabbit, and now they're using like Discords and stuff like that. If any of you follow Podtrash Discord or Podtrash, you know, that's them. Basically, Podtrash is not them, but they're there. So if you go into the Podtrash Discord, because I know some of you might be in there, people like Kleenex and Chad and all that, they're all the Kermit Town people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kleenex wasn't. Go ahead. Fancy.
No, I'm just saying that those type of people will pretend they're good people, but they're actually quite bad people. They're professional about how they go about trying to fool people into thinking that they're good, and they're trying to, be your friend and stuff like it. So I'll just be careful about those people.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think pod trash. I can tell you a quick story. There's an old guy called Kleenex, and I actually like Kleenex, and he used to be in love with Elisa Jordana, and he would be like always trying to get on a show, and then the next minute he'd be fighting with her and abusing her. And one of his funniest lines is Elisa's got like a couple of dogs, and one of them's like really old, and it you know what a little old dog, it looks like, a frail sort of, old ladies sort of thing. And he was in one of his rants one night, and he said something like, he goes she's got a dog that looks like a fucking rat. and I laughed so hard at it because it actually does look like a rat, because it's really old and stuff like. But he fights with people all the time. He's got podcasts. If you listen, he's got podcasts on Pod Trash, and I was actually listening to the last two. He had a huge falling out with Robin. Now, Robin used to be part of the Kermit Town people, right? Robin is now Pod Trash's owner. He's the girlfriend, right? So they got together. So Kermit Town sort of crawled into Pod Trash, welcome or not. And so they gave Kleenex a show. So he starts doing a show, right? But Kleenex can't help fighting with people, and he started fighting with the Pod Trash owner. So eventually he just self-destructed and gave up doing it, and he went out in style. He sort of said to Robin, he goes, "You want to pull my cord, bitch? Well, fucking do it." And that was basically the end. That was the basic end of his show. And she did, yeah. And that was the end of his show on Pod
you
Trash.
know what? But not before he brought out all their personal stories, relationships.
He talks about them all the
private
time.
stuff, about the girl having abortions and things like that. And it was like he brought out really, really secretive personal things that he actually got from them when he got their trust. So that's how dangerous that guy is. He tries to get the information that's private in your life, and he spews it out on the internet. So that's those frogs. That's what they do.
Yeah. That's
All right, Nikki's messaged me, so she might come over, hopefully.
Man.
Lots of
Darling
things.
Nikki is fantastic. She really is. I love her lives. I really do.
Yes. You want me to jump off, bro?
No. You can get 6 people up here. It's not. There's no one asking at the moment to come up. So you're fine. You can just mute and listen if you want. You can stay up if you want to, or you can drop down. It's up to you.
No, it's too heavy.
I want to.
Am I getting
fancy? I was thinking if you wanted to have a chat, you could tell these people that story that you told me that time where that fella. The band camp, yeah, where that fella, because Fancy's family runs a business of a food business, like one of those quick sort of meal type deals, and
it's a small takeout, small little takeout shop, size of a toilet. It's not really a big store. Anything.
Size of a toilet.
Yeah.
That's where I feel the most comfortable, on a toilet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, I have all decked out. I have music. I have a TV screen. Everything.
Really?
True.
You have a TV. You have a TV screen in there?
I put it in the wall. It's a flat screen, and whatever I watch when I have to go, I just turn it on, and I don't lose a minute.
Really? Wow.
Hey, I have nothing better to do than to deck my house out.
Do you have?
I'm a stay-home dad. I'm a stay-home dad.
Do you have one of those toilets that puts water up your ass?
Like one of those geeky guys.
That's right.
Okay.
Ing, do you have one of them toilets that shoots water up your ass?
No, but we have them in the house because my mother she's really, really, really Japanese, and she has her toilets are all decked out with it. She doesn't need any toilet paper. Because they have a dryer that
we
comes
have
out
we have
after
them.
work.
We also
Post down.
It even dries it.
Yeah, I bet the sale of bidets have went up since all of this has happened.
Oh yeah.
Those
we
just
have water's too powerful in our one, so it becomes like yeah.
well, you can adjust it. You have a oh really? It has a computer screen type of little thing on the side. Each toilet seat of my mother-in-law's cost $3,000 American. I didn't pay
Oh
for
my
it. But
God.
yeah, so let her have it.
Can you Bluetooth your toilet?
Well, you probably could.
They're going to start putting speakers on toilets, and then you just Bluetooth and play.
Well,
No,
we have one.
all wireless. All wireless.
We don't use the water. We have a gel in our toilet. So what happens is, I don't know, it's to save water, but the gel, we have a gel.
Yeah, you can set it all up, whatever you want. You have to come up.
Hang on. What the fuck does the gel do? What's going on here?
It glows in the dark.
It's a
Is that like
one-stop
a lube?
shop.
Is that like a lube? Does it just lube you up to get back to bed or something?
Oh,
What is it?
The toilet doesn't use water. It uses gel. So you do your business, and it just goes straight into the gel, and you press a button, and then it like basically spews out fresh gel. So kind of like
Spews.
What the
yeah,
fuck?
like it's like a recycle, like because you're gonna mess the gel in the pot, right? So you do your business, and then you press the button, and then new gel comes in, and it smells nice, and it doesn't use water. Then the waste product goes into a separate compartment on the side. Then when the guys come with the truck to pump out the drains, and they pump out all the gel, it's like some technology they're using to save water.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys don't know about that?
No,
No.
not me.
no,
Oh,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
Yeah.
even tried one of these toilets yet.
Yeah, there's no flashing or anything. It's just you just hear that suction noise like that. So there's no like
Ah.
yeah.
Like an airplane,
The
it just
The seat
They
heats
have-
up.
The seat, yes, it heats up. It heats up.
Heats up?
The seat heats up, and it can play music, and yeah, you can connect certain
Oh,
devices
a
to
friend
it.
of
So,
mine has
yeah,
an
it's-
eco toilet where it's kind of like that. Like it's in the bathroom, but it's not through a water system. It's really strange, and it sits up really high. But it's an eco toilet, I think maybe.
Eco toilet.
Yeah, it's
It's
made in
recycled.
Korea apparently. Yeah, it's a Korean invention, and I don't know if it's water that's been, because the gel looks like water, but they say it's not water. It's not. So I don't know.
Hey, listen.
I'd like to try that. So are you telling me, Fancy, that when you sit down, right, and even if it's the one with the water, so when you sit down, and Ing would probably know better, maybe it cleans you really well. Like you don't have to finish off.
Oh
or
yeah.
anything,
So that's
like-
why when there was this toilet paper shortage, we didn't worry about it because our toilet has the jet thing, so it shoots out water like really fast. Right? Sometimes it hurts you, and then you like,
What the fuck?
yeah. You feel like you're being violated, and it's like, yo, come on, get done, and then the vacuum
What if
comes out.
What if it's too cold? What if it's too cold?
Yeah, in winter it's really cold, so
Oh,
it
fuck.
becomes a problem. Then the hair dryer comes out and blows you dry, and then sometimes it burns you because it's like too hot, and you're like, okay, shit, fuck, and then you stop the button and you get off, and then that's it. So we don't worry about toilet
I
paper.
feel like you're being abused by the toilet.
Yes, violated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. You get used to it. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you want to get abused in the middle of the night, you just get married or something. But like by the toilet,
The
Yeah, I don't
abuse
know.
stops immediately when you get married. The abuse
There are
stops.
extremes available for that too.
You need a toilet when you get married.
oh my god.
What did
That's
you
all-
say you wanted to tell me? What?
Yeah,
what
yeah. No,
story?
the story, Fancy, the story, the funny story. Or actually, it's not really funny, but where the fella that worked for you or worked for your family, and then like he got sick and then tried to blame you guys, and then
Oh,
you remember that guy?
oh yeah,
And he
yeah.
got
I
he got
remember.
he and then Ing, don't laugh because and then he
No, but
I think he died.
Yeah,
I
he
think he
died. He
died,
died.
but
Yeah,
he
he
was
died.
trying to blame Fancy for like
Yeah, he
food
tried to
poisoning.
blame my dad for poisoning him in the store. He had like he had a dispute with my dad over wages, like over the pay. So he then a few days later, he was working for us like for quite some time, more than 6 months. We were trying to help him out, but then he accused my dad of poisoning him. He went to the doctor and said no, he had food poison and stuff like that. He ate our food, and then he started like ratting us out, saying that we get illegal food from packaged curry from China, and the meat is not real meat, and there's like some dodgy things going on there. And the police came to check the store out. They were scratching through the fridge, and they took samples of our curry.
good
And
heavens.
then the next week, the guy died in hospital. So we were like, "What the fuck?" And then we had problems. So we had to like move to another location, and yeah,
Good
it
heavens.
was. I don't know if that's a funny story, Casper.
Well, I don't know.
Confused.
It sounded a lot funny. It sounded a lot funnier when you were telling me about it, but like because I got it in like installments. Like when you said to me,
Oh,
"Oh, this asshole, bloody, causing trouble, blah blah blah," and then like he was like, he's gonna sue us for food poisoning, and he's going to the authorities, and
yeah,
he's spreading all these lies and.
yeah. It was a nightmare.
then,
It was a
and then,
nightmare.
like a week later, I said to Fancy, "Fuck, what happened to that asshole?" And Fancy goes, "Oh, he died."
Hey, you take care of business. That's okay.
Dead
That's
people
okay.
can't tell. Dead people can't tell tales now.
You can't lie.
No, I mean, look, I mean, I don't want to get into details with that story because I don't know who's listening here. We live in a gated community. So, like, everybody knows everybody, and like, they know, like, what people do and their hobbies and things like that because there's so much of gossip in our neighborhood. So, and then, the way the buildings are built is like everyone is right next to each other. So, when you come out of your door, your neighbor's door is right next to you. So occasionally you like when you open a door and then you walk straight into your neighbor and it's like, oh, morning. And then, so there's like almost like, I would say there's only about 50% privacy in our neighborhood.
We should. I should have asked you about this beforehand. So you tell me if it's not. Tell me if you don't want to say anything. But another funny story. I think the guys. I think guys might like is the time you were doing the old lady next door for Wi-Fi. That's a funny story.
Yeah.
Come on, tell him. Tell him.
But that was more of an arrangement that we had. It was kind of like I was just helping out.
So,
she was helping me out, and I was helping her out.
So yeah, but like, Ing,
can I ask a question? So let me get this straight. He did an old lady for Wi-Fi, so you can't afford your internet, Fancy?
Yeah. Look, the internet's expensive in my area. I don't earn that much money. Neighbor was kind enough to offer her free Wi-Fi. She gave me a password, and I started using it. But then she cut it off, and then I had to go to her house and knock on the door and say, "Look, can we not come to some arrangement?" So the arrangement was she was in a gown and she was making all these hints, and then I had to do the job. I had to scratch her back for her, and then she had to scratch my back. So,
So how old was she?
I would say she's like maybe in a 65 or maybe more older than that.
That's still good. That's still good.
Yeah, but I mean, she works out.
But the funny story was that like. Fancy's dad is sometimes a bit mean, right, Fancy? And he just fucking cut the internet off, like he just like I don't know, he's just being mean. And like Fancy, I just thought it was funny that Fancy would take any lengths to like get the Wi-Fi, because a few times he went down to, I think it was McDonald's or something fancy when we used the Wi-Fi from.
I go to
Yeah.
McDonald's. I go
He goes to
Starbucks.
the free Wi-Fi, but then he found an innocent old lady next door that had Wi-Fi.
Well, I wouldn't say
Commitment. That's commitment.
No, I wouldn't say she's innocent. I
commitment.
wouldn't. No, I mean, I wouldn't say she's innocent. It's boring where I live. Like without the internet, your life sucks because people are antisocial in my neighborhood. Seriously, I think this whole country is antisocial. So, like, internet is like vital. It's like essential. You know.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, shout out to Wendy in the chat. Wendy,
Hi, Wendy.
fancy. That's Wendy, the slow adult from Howard Stern show.
Oh, hi.
Care Bear.
It's Care Bear.
Wendy.
Care Bear is Wendy from the Howard Stern show.
Oh yeah. I mean, I lost touch with Howard. I don't talk to the guy anymore. So I mean, Howard and me go way back.
you know, Fancy tried to tell me once.
I blocked him. No, I blocked him on Twitter.
Yeah. He said that Howard Stern was following him, so he blocked him.
I would too.
If anybody knows Howard, go to him and just ask him. Listen, were you following Fancy Dog Wings on Twitter? And just ask him to be honest, and he'll say yes, I was following him. And then you ask him, what did I do? I blocked him. We had a dispute, so I blocked him.
That's what he said.
Why people don't believe me?
I don't know. I don't know. You might need fancy. If you want to be part of this community, you got to show receipts, brother. I mean, it's all about receipts. Oh, receipts.
Okay. Why don't you guys ask Benji then? Because me and Benji, we quite close. Me and Benji are close, bro. Huh?
I
think Benji blocked Howard Stern too.
No, but isn't Benji working for Howard Stern?
No, yes, he is. But he's a bit disgruntled lately.
Oh, shame.
Well, he's no longer in the studio, but that happened like years ago already.
Yeah.
And he's not happy about it. He doesn't get FaceTime as much as he wants, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that usually happens amongst Jewish people. They always have these power struggles amongst themselves. It's common.
Of course they do.
Yeah, I mean, like, you look what's happening in Israel. They're constantly having that power struggle. You know, who's going to lead the next?
Well, losing to world wars, I'm not going into it.
This and that, blah, blah, blah. What? What's
Sorry,
that?
I was just playing around with the panel. Sorry, I thought Ing said something.
Yeah, no, I said losing. I'm not talking about Israel, because losing to world wars, I think I should shut up. At least for another generation. I tell my kids, listen, you can't talk about Jews. They don't. So yeah, another generation. And then
I don't know, man. I think you can talk about Jews. I mean, which Jews are we talking about? We're only talking about the white Jews, or are we forgetting about the black Jews? I mean, so
yeah, aren't they more Muslim? Like Malcolm X?
Yeah,
they were Islamic.
Because before the
Muhammad Ali.
No, because before there was Muslims, the Muslims were Jews before they were Muslims, isn't it? Am I not correct?
Well, yeah, you got a point there, no doubt.
Yes,
No
Abraham.
Because Abraham and the two wives. He had two wives and he had so many babies. So
Ishmael was the one, the line for the Islam.
Yeah, so I actually don't see a difference between the Jews and the Muslims. I would say that they're one big family, if you look at it deeply.
Listen, I come from a city in Germany, in south of Germany. It had 12,000 citizens when I left. For the last 400 years, it had the second largest Jewish community in the south of Germany. And there is a Jewish cemetery 3 miles out of the city. It's from the 17th century, and it's all kept in good order and everything. But none of them survived the Nazi regime. But now it is in a sense, a cultural and historical place to be. But here's the thing: the cemetery was 3 miles out. Every the rest of the city had 3 Catholic churches that were right in the middle, and around it were the cemeteries. So when the plague hit, most of the Catholics just died off, and the Jewish community had not one fatality. Now they said, "Oh, they poisoned our wells. It's their fault." But it was just they were based on the Mosaic law, just treating everything like a dead had to be underground within the day. Like you can't wait all night. But the cemetery was 3 miles out, so whenever someone was sick or would die, like they were out of the community right away. In the Catholics, they had them, laid on a table for 3 days. Everyone could come by and kiss their forehead. Of course, you spread more diseases, especially when the plague hit. But the cultural differences.
Yeah, well, but what about pigs that they used to live with the pigs and eat with the pigs, and
That's
then they
right.
slaughtered the pigs in the open, and the pigs were famous for having plague.
Yeah, and the Jews wouldn't even touch. They wouldn't have pigs because they wouldn't eat it. They were not kosher.
Right, no pork.
Yeah. I read about that story about where the plague started and how the diseases evolved, and how people used to live with the animals in the house. They would have like a separate room where the animals would live, and they'd sleep with the animals right next to it. Isn't that so?
That's right. And well, in the beginning, they had long houses, and in one half the people would live, and the other half all the animals were there, including the pigs. That's what in Europe, what a farmhouse was for 1,500 years.
Yeah, but then I would say that all these diseases, it's the same thing that's happening all over again. Like, it should be easy for us to actually figure out. Don't you think so? We should be easily to figure out where the source is coming from and what's going on. It shouldn't be such a mystery.
Yeah, but it mutates. That's it.
That's
like
the problem. That's right.
If the flu virus would stay the same, but it does now sometimes it actually mutates within the flu season, like the common flu.
In New York, we have a tiger at the Bronx Zoo that's infected with corona.
Really?
Yeah, but I've heard New York is really dirty. It's one of the most dirtiest cities in America.
Sure. I mean, there's so many cars. It's like Asia. It's the pollution's
no. I mean,
terrible.
the cars. The cars. That's pollution. But I'm talking about filth. The rats running around, the rubbish, the dirt. I mean, there's only one street in New York.
Rats the size of cats.
Yeah. There's only one street in New York that they say is clean, which is is it Soho? Just one road.
In front of Trump Tower, maybe.
yeah, I don't know, but they just said in New
Central
York,
Park West, Fifth Avenue. Those are fairly clean, but
but the
anything
rest
around the park.
Yeah. Wait till you hear about the Eskimo trolls.
Oh my God, no. No, I'm talking too much. Guess what? I'm talking too much here. Oh my goodness.
You can imagine some of the conversations.
In my family, my father's family is from the southern part of Germany, and I have a very strong Jewish German last name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
No, listen, Albert Einstein.
It's been 3 generations now.
So do you keep kosher?
I had a Catholic mother, so I come from a very blended, and my son is Christian Orthodox from his father is Georgian. So we have quite a blended family
Russian
here.
Orthodox. That's not even Greek Orthodox. That's Russian Orthodox then in Georgia.
Yeah, if someone dies, you wear black. If it's a spouse, you wear black the rest of your life. You also have bodies laying on your dining tables.
Oh.
I feel like a heathen when I was at school, and there was like a religion subject. They would get all the kids together and they would say, okay, all the, like Christians in this room and all of, this religion in this room and all of these other people in this room. And that little group of kids that are left with no religion, that was me. That was me. I was one of those. I was one of those kids that just didn't have.
Are you the atheist? Are you saying you're an atheist?
No, I think back in my day, I think they called it. Don't get me wrong, but I think they called it Church of England.
What? What's that? Church of England?
That's what they called it when I was at school.
Yes. That was by Henry Tudor, I believe.
Yeah, and
It's
I
the
was
United Church.
Oh,
that was like just the general one that didn't belong to a particular
yeah,
religion.
yeah.
Church of
Yeah,
England.
Henry Tudor didn't like the religion at the time because he liked to have multiple wives and have them
Yeah,
killed. So
the Church of
Oh.
this
England
was a
is
way to keep them alive.
I was in the right place. Woo!
no, but the Church of England was established by the royalties. It's their own church, and then they said
Yes.
those who go against Catholicism, who don't believe in that nonsense, then they founded the Church of England. The Church of England is actually the British family's church. They're the founders of it.
It's so they could do what they wanted.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
so
I'm
the
getting
Church
into
of
this
England.
religion stuff now.
No,
Oh, sorry, just
I
kidding.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
A miracle.
in mine it's
A
very
miracle.
tolerant. It's very tolerant. We have a blend of everything.
Okay, that's good.
I just feel like if we just kind of a higher being. You can call it several names if you like, but
I have to find my book. What about the trivia I was going to do? I forgot about it. Hang on.
No, I actually got into the whole Rastafarian movement. I left the whole religious thing, and I got into the marijuana smoking and the religion.
ganja.
Yeah, the ganja thing with the Rastafarians, and I became a vegetarian,
Yeah,
and then I started smoking a lot of weed, but then afterwards I realized that the religion was all about weed, and
It is. It has become that.
Mhm.
yeah, and like the whole Haile Selassie thing, with being the crown king emperor and that stuff, and I realized that, well, that's a bit weird. It's like, I mean, where's God in this whole picture? I mean,
Look
so
at these comments.
Can anyone explain to me what? Can anyone explain to me what that means, please?
Oh,
What?
know.
Flying
I think
spaghetti
you know.
monster. I don't know.
Flying bush monster.
Bushwhackers. I'm a bushwhacker, apparently, according to Copper. Was it Copper that said that?
You were a bushwhacker the other day for sure.
Flying
Whacking the
spaghetti
bush.
monster. Whacking the
I don't
bush,
know.
yeah.
I don't know what is that.
There was this.
Shouldn't
There
it
was
be the
this
flying kangaroo monster?
We have a whole community around Hartley's bush.
So like you got to know people fancy. You know when you know someone after a while fancy, and there's something like particularly funny about them, and everyone talks about it. So
Sticks with them.
it sticks with them, yeah. So all right.
So how long
let's
are
go.
you
I
gonna
keep saying,
be chatting?
only another half an hour, and then I'll jump off. I usually go 2 hours, and I think another friend creator is going live about that time as well. So I tried. This is sort of my time slot that I find works best. You know that, Fancy, because I've always done this time. And it sort of suits that no one, just coincidentally, no one's really streaming at this time. So I just
everyone we know goes late.
yeah, exactly. So it works for me.
So Cosmic does your after show?
No, yeah, that'd be funny. That would be
He
funny.
should. He's doing good.
He doesn't even pop in and say hello. Like he's probably sleeping because
No,
see what
he-
Well,
happens
it
is-
was good
Yeah, he's
to
busy,
catch up
busy,
with
busy.
you again, Casper, and nice to meet your friends.
yeah.
Nice
Nice to meet you, Fancy.
Nice to
Fancy,
meet you
you're
guys.
always
and-
welcome.
Yeah,
Fancy,
I
you're
know I
always
can get a bit
welcome.
heavy sometimes, but just take me with a pinch of salt, guys. My imagination runs away with me sometimes, but I try to
That's
have
good advice for everyone on here. A pinch of salt.
Fancy has the best stories. Like he has. No, I'm not kidding. He has the funniest and best stories. Like if I could remember some, but I wouldn't be able to deliver it like Fancy does. That's why if he wants to come on every once in a while and tell some of his stories, because I find it quite amusing and very very funny. Very funny.
I know,
Fancy,
I
do you remember?
quite a trip.
Fancy, do you remember the twerking stories that you told Chad that time about how a girl twerks her ass when she's interested? That was a funny one.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember it that well. Yeah, I don't remember it that well. No, but I mean, like, yeah, I like to, add a bit of spice to some of the interaction with people. I like to get people going. Sometimes I think
Yeah.
we shouldn't waste our time just talking
See
shit on the
what
internet.
happened, guys? What happened, guys, is that Fancy like they
Fancy, I
used
completely agree.
what used to happen, guys, was that this other group that we were talking about for the Kermit towns is that they would often sort of like try to sort of make like fun of Fancy. So Fancy would come back with like a story that had them all like riveted, like, and he just completely makes it up. Like, it's so funny. Like, and then
Yeah,
he's
no,
just
like the, yeah,
like the
yeah.
troll, like the troll and the trolls. Like, it was so funny.
Yeah, there was things that they were trying to troll me, and then I would say, okay, fine, I'll play your game, and then they would think they were gonna mind manipulate me, and then I would be like, yeah, but you don't know me, I know about those things, so I'm gonna play dumb for now, and then I'll make things a bit exciting. But I mean, like, I think everybody's like that. Everybody has their little secret mind, behind the actual mind, and so now and again people play around with it. So some ways everybody likes that kind of fun sometimes, but there's a line, you have to draw a line.
If
You
you can
can't
make
just
me laugh, it's a go.
really.
Yes, it's a
Okay,
go.
I'll
It
try.
doesn't
I'll
matter. If
try to
it's
make
going to
you
make
laugh
me
next.
laugh, I don't care.
I'll try to make you laugh next time. I'll try to make you laugh next time.
Oh, you
It's just
did
that
this time.
well, yeah. No, I mean just that I haven't done this for a long time. I've been away from the internet for a month, and there's a lot of stuff that's been going on with this whole coronavirus thing. So it's like taking me off balance. So um, I just need to, get used to the idea of talking on the internet.
Mhm.
But
No,
like,
it's been
yeah,
good. It's
I
good.
think it's interesting to talk like this, to get people thinking a bit, because like the media, I would say, is basically bullshitting us like 50% of the time, or
100%.
60. No, not maybe 100, but a lot of the times I feel that the media is going in one direction and like trying to spook people and freak people out. And then when you talk to people, people will say, hey, but no, it's not like that. I know it's different. It's like this and it's like that. And if you talk to people and they're honest about what's happening, then you actually feel better after that. Like now.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, Fancy likes
No,
to
I
get
think
into his chats. Like, very interesting.
no, I think earlier, Fancy, what Doodle meant is that she's 100% about your 50%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, okay, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
You
All
said
right.
50% and she said 100%. She meant that you're right 100%. That's what is it right,
Yes,
Doodle? Exactly.
it's
I just
exactly right.
thought I'd
Ian.
throw
You
this out. Yeah,
understand me. You got me.
I got it. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. All right. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thanks
I
for
need to
coming.
go. Yeah, no, I will. I'll see you guys next time. Casper, just hit me up, okay?
Yeah, mate, no problem. Thanks for coming.
Bye,
Yeah,
Fancy.
man. Okay, guys. Bye. How do I leave
Bye.
here? Kick me?
I can just X out, or I
Kick
can
him out.
remove you. All right, bang. I took him out. Oh, he has the best
Bye,
stories.
mate.
Like, yeah, if anybody has any like looked at any of my older podcasts and stuff, him and my other mate Jeff, they're on there all the time, and we would just chew the fat. And sometimes like Jeff would be drunk or in a happy mood, and it's all good. And yeah, I've known them from that other. They're the only two people I pretty much keep in touch with out of that old community. So
We need more happy people here.
yeah. Although I didn't get I didn't get all my private information taken when I was in that other group. So YouTube's its own world. So what did you think? So guys, I didn't ask you, like, specifically ask you, like, what Ing. Well, I'll ask Ing first. Ing, what did you think of my video? Like, were you surprised when I pulled the dating profile up?
I have to admit something to you. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
But
shit.
no,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
first, and I wasn't lying about that. I thought first someone made that about you, and then I realized it was you, and I thought I watch it later, and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
Ing, you are in for a very big surprise.
Okay. I it's on my list right now because there's so much. I get 50 messages an hour, but half of it is work. And then the other, then you have people in Germany I haven't spoken to. My mother says, "Are you still alive?" And so sorry about that, Casper. But I already knew what you look like.
Oh yeah,
But
I know that.
I have to
I
watch
know
it.
that.
I will watch it, and I apologize. It will not.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really think it should be his new avatar, if you
I,
ask me.
it might
Yeah,
as well be.
I forgot that probably Ing was one of the, probably very first people that, I sent a picture to. Yeah, not that picture, but
Yeah. I would destroy it
Maybe I'll
immediately.
make it my avatar picture.
oh my god. Oh my god. That would be funny. Yeah.
That's a
It's
good
kind of like
idea,
how
right there.
BCF does her feet, you know?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was funny. I was actually going to do my feet, but I just forgot to do it. Not many
Docs my
people.
socks. That was so
docs.
cute.
Yeah. Hang on, I was
See,
just
Copper Star agrees with me.
respect.
Casper, you should
Yeah,
make
she
that
would.
your
She would. Yeah, she would.
avatar. I think you could get a lot more subs.
Oh Jesus. So Doodle, you watched it obviously. What did you think when you it's one thing with the picture, like the one that Jamie put up. It's no big deal now, but what did you think when then I pulled the old dating profile picture up?
I have to say I was rather impressed in multiple ways. First being that you did it, and second, just
Yeah, well, I was showing.
I mean, you definitely shouldn't be ashamed of it.
Yeah. Well, the thing that what I was ashamed of is that the picture was 9 years old, and I know Ing makes fun of himself and everything like that, but the first thing I had to say was, "Oh my god, my stomach doesn't look like that anymore." I'd put on a few more kilos, and I was thinking,
well, you know what? The bigger the tools, the bigger the tool shed.
That's right. A big a big hammer needs a big compressor. That's right above the belly.
Christ. Yeah. So that to me, that was my most disappointed part of it. Was
he keeps his bushwhacker in his tool shed.
Oh my
bushwhacker! I thought your favorite was that.
So I instantly when that first came out, I instantly went I was going to the doctors for I was going for a skin check. So I said to my doctor, I want to I've been playing soccer for a few years now, and I've been growing the legs and the calves and all that, and but I haven't noticed losing general weight in the stomach or anything like that. So I said to the doctor, I said, I'd like to lose some weight out of my stomach, and this is all based on looking at that picture. And I'm like, he goes, "Oh, okay." I said, my sister tried Duramine back in the day, and it worked for her, but she got a little bit addicted to it. But they changed Duramine now, where they took the addiction part out, so it's like the legalized version of speed, but they took all the addiction part out of it now, and now it just is basically an appetite suppressor. So now I'm on Duramine now. To lose I don't know. I want to lose 5 kilos or something like that. So I don't know if it's working yet. But I can't really.
That's why you don't look back. Don't look back.
Yeah,
look at Count's comment. You're the human master of the universe.
I was really upset the fact that I put the wrong one up. I was really upset about the fact that I didn't look like that anymore. The rest of me, yeah, but I went oh no. So yeah, I'm trying to get back to that. That takes a lot of
work.
And that would, I swear, it was at least 9 years ago, because I told the story on my video that I was actually in Sydney and staying in a hotel. I think I was going to my previous boss's funeral, and I was in a motel. And obviously I was, single at the time. And I probably thought to myself, wow, I haven't been down to Sydney for a while. Maybe I might need to meet someone. So I think that I made that profile up on the fly that night. And I think I changed. Well, actually, it probably would have seemed it would have been Sydney.
Hey, I think it's the best profile picture for a dating site ever.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what's happening or what you're getting.
Yeah, well, I still don't know how they put a head on it and decided it was me, but I owned it. Like that was my profile. Like anyway, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and oh, I think I answered the
The
question, Becky.
eggplant
But
was
yeah,
the best.
so that tidy whitey's profile that Avi that people have seen, when that tidy whitey's originally showed up, it was using my picture, and it was on like they were sitting in chat for waiting for Mary's live, and I was backstage with Mary, and I saw it because I had the YouTube chat up, and they changed it that was the very first time I saw it. So whoever was behind getting that profile picture and stuff, that's their Avi, because I sort of complained and then they changed it and they haven't used my picture since. Like they just put like a different pair of undies or whatever on there. But definitely they had used that picture at least once that I saw.
Bastards.
And that's the
Yeah.
annoying part. It's someone else to do that.
Yeah, look,
when you don't know.
look. I can understand when people get harassed because they're not good people, or they're assholes themselves, or they make trouble or whatever. But like Ing said before, like I've never done that to anybody, and especially when I was with Jamie, I was trying to help her promote.
You pimp for donations.
Yeah, I did pimp for promotions, and you know what? I was the only one that ever did that. And even after I left, no one continued it for her. So what can you do? It's no. What was it? I think Doodle told me that no good deed goes unpunished type situation. So it's just the way it is. Just the way it is. So, but you know what? Like it's easy. Like if you had seen that, if you had been one of them people that's seen that floating around, I don't blame those people, because as I'll say to anybody, if someone sent me a picture of someone's boobs, and they said, "Oh, these are Doodlebug's boobs" or whatever, of course I'm gonna look. I'm not gonna delete it like without even looking. Like, of course I'm gonna look. I wouldn't know if they were hers really, unless it was, it had a head attached or something like that. But wouldn't anybody look? And if you're a girl and you
I don't.
Oh,
no. If I can't suck at the nipples, I don't want to see it.
Oh, come on. But you know what? Like when there's dick pics, when guys send dick pics, do you really think like that's their dick? Like you can just get any dick any dick pic and send it, right?
Yeah, and say this is the person.
Yeah. So you don't have to, like, that profile picture had no head, for fuck's sake. Like, how would they have ever known that was me? I still don't know how they got that. But anyway, it's funny. I'm not upset about it. So that's why I decided to.
You should only be upset about it if it was like tucked that day or something. But
you know what? There was somebody that accused me. Hang on. There was somebody that accused me of toilet rolling that picture, right? Yeah, putting a toilet roll there, right? I'm telling you, I will swear that I will swear that's not a toilet roll, girls.
Good heavens.
No, you can tell.
Anyway, it didn't come out, and the thing is though, I always had a fear, like how like Ross does some pretty
a cold day.
Ross does some pretty cool streams, right? And people do like have cracks at each other, and even if it's like, say, fight night and it's just like a lot of fucking around, right? I always had in the back of my mind that if I wanted to join in on the fun, or if I did have a beef with someone, if someone went for me and I did strike back, I always had in the back of my mind, you watch, as soon as I join in or I upset someone, bang, my picture's going to be, out there for everybody. So I just thought I would do it first before anyone else tried it on me, if you know what I mean. So, and apparently I did inspire Breakfast Club, aka Scrambled Eggs and Toast. I did inspire Breakfast to do her live the other day, and that was really cool how she just put herself out there. In fact, she put more of herself out there than me, because she
and
told
that's
her.
what we need. We need more inspiration, and if we can make fun of ourselves and take the ugliness out of it, that's exactly the direction that everyone needs to go. And
Yeah.
when people realize that it's just something that we can deal with, then they're going to move on to something else or someone else.
Yeah. And look at this. I mean, like Copper Star Misery is like revealing all my secrets. Like she's zoomed in and says it's totally real.
You take their
Well,
power.
since
Oh, that's funny.
since we're at it, you said you just started playing soccer. How old were you when you started playing soccer?
Oh yeah, well I played it when I was a kid, but I was never any good. I'd be standing like I'd be one of them kids on the field where the coach would have to tell me where to stand. Like I was like not very good, right?
I know
So
that.
I stopped. Yeah, I stopped playing. Like I don't know. I probably stopped playing when I was 15 or something like that, and just probably when I discovered girls, I stopped playing soccer, and then I started to a mate was coaching my niece. My niece was playing soccer, and in a co-ed side. So the coach said to me, "Do you want to help me out with the team?" And I went like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, no worries." I said, "I haven't played for a long time, but I know how to organize kids." So I went and got my blue card because I don't have any kids of my own. So I went and got my blue card to show them that I had no record or anything like that. So I started coaching with the other coach, and then he said to me, "Oh, why don't you come and play old man soccer?" Because at that stage I was probably 40, and and he said to me, "Come and play over 35s," and I said, "Yeah, all right." So I started to play over 35s, but since then that was a long time ago. And what happened was, as you get older, right, more 35-year-olds come into the league. And I'm telling you, it's not easy to play against a 35-year-old who's in pretty good shape and played soccer for all their life. So, yeah, it got a little bit hard to do.
Keep that cardio up.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start going for walks again. Just put the headphones in and go for a couple of Ks a night or something like that. And I can always make my phone calls and stuff like that while I'm walking along. So, when you talk to somebody, I find when you talk to somebody or you have the music blaring and you go for a run or a walk or even a ride on your bike or whatever, the time goes so fast.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
it goes so fast. So yeah, anyway, I just checked my book, and I only had time, and this was like weeks ago, I only had time to write down Ross, I am 50. I am 50, my man. I am 50.
You're 50 years old?
I am 50 years old. I know I don't look 50 years old. That's the good thing about it.
No, I thought you were older. No kidding.
Pin Care Bears.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm kidding.
Pin Care Bears comment.
I would. I'll in it, but I ain't doing it. I would love to see Casper sing and dance.
Well, then she's got a Casper. Casper
Ian, you're going to
knows how
have to
get
have a
down
word.
and take that booty.
This Cosmic has gone live while I'm live. I mean, how rude is that?
This son of a.
Yeah,
that's not right. We should go there and troll him.
Ross is. I'm forgetting how old Ross is. I thought Ross was maybe in his. Am I wrong? Is he in his 40s? I mean, I know Ross is married with some kids and stuff.
Ross
and
36.
36, right? Okay. Sorry.
Because
Ross and I are going to hang out. Like if I get over that way, and there's a possibility in the future I will. Ross and I are going to hang out, and we're going to get stoned and do a stream. I think it's going to be funny. Now, I had only 4 lame questions written down. I had 4 really lame questions written down, and I don't even know if I want to do them. Should I do them before? Because we only got like 10 minutes left. Okay, so
hey, it's the only competition you have is Cosmic. So 4 lame questions will do it.
Oh dear. So I have to like be clear with the rules, because last time I got in trouble. I got in trouble. Cass cursed me out because I didn't put the rules down straight, right? So we have to decide whether should we let the Aussies answer the questions, or like the chat, and we don't, and I just ask them and we don't answer them. Well, you guys don't answer them. Should we just let the chat? And you don't have to be like Aussie, but obviously the Aussies have the advantage. But it's only 4 questions. All right. So
only if the panel doesn't know, then the chat can chime in. Otherwise,
oh
who
yeah,
cares?
you can.
No,
Yeah, but you know how everyone wants to put the answers in the chat usually. So, but anyway, yeah. Well, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. Okay,
I'm not reading the chat.
okay, first question. I wish I had got better ones, but anyway, this is all I have written down. First question is, name the most populated state in Australia. Either one of you two people think about it. Do you know anything about Australia?
What's Melbourne in?
Melbourne's in Victoria.
I don't even know if I know all the states. I mean,
you could look at the map. Like if
Victoria.
If you have a spare screen or something, you could look at
Queensland, is that a state?
Yeah, that's a state. So you got Queensland. Oh, okay. I'll give you options. You got Queensland, you got New South Wales, you got Victoria, you got Northern Territory, you got Western Australia. Now, Western Australia in volume obviously is large, but it's mostly like desert and sand and that sort of thing. So, what's your guesses? Yep. Ing, you said Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay. Doodle, what would be your guess? Where'd she go?
I'm going to go New South Wales.
Where? New South Wales.
Yeah.
New South Wales.
All right, New South Wales is correct. New
Right.
South Wales is correct. So 1 for Doodle. That sounds really funny, doesn't it? 1 for Doodle. Okay. All right. So
I hate Australia.
All right. I'm going to give you the next question, and then there will be a clue with it. Okay. In which year was the dollar coin introduced?
In Australia.
In Australia, yeah, these are all Australian. And I'm going to give you a clue because I just told you how old I was, right? So the clue to this question is it was the year that I left school. I'll work that one out.
74.
1988.
I didn't. Oh, by the way, I didn't go to year 12. I left at year 10. I don't know what I left at 4th form, which we call year 10. I didn't go. So I left at high school certificate stage and not higher school certificate. So do you want to reevaluate your guesses?
I said 1974.
74? What am I? Oh, no.
I did the math.
92.
All right. What are you sticking with 74, Ing?
1990.
No, both wrong. So I'll go to the chat because I saw it somewhere. Let me check. No. The first correct answer that I see in the chat was Breakfast Club. 84. 1984. Nicely done.
That's when you came out of school?
Yeah, 84. I left school in 84.
And you're only 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I was pretty young at the time.
That's different here.
He was kicked out.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So it's Breakfast Club 1, Doodle 1. Okay. So okay. So what year was color TV introduced into Australia?
2015. No, let's see.
That's funny.
Let's see.
I wonder if anyone's actually.
Color
I wonder if anyone's
television.
actually cheating.
1978.
All
I'm going to go
right.
76.
Oh my God! No, both wrong. I will go to the chat, and the first correct answer that I see in the chat is Bee Stinger, 1975.
Good for Bee Stinger.
He's got it.
Okay, the last question. All right, before.
You know what this is?
What,
We're
Becky?
all winners tonight.
Okay, last question. Okay, so this is friggin' hard. What is the second largest city in New South Wales? Now that's going to be almost impossible for you guys to know. I think it's going to have to. It's going to have to go to the chat.
Well,
but,
let's be fair. This has been a little bit biased.
Yeah. Well, it's
Very
Aussie
funny.
rules. It's all my rules, dude.
Right on.
It has to be biased,
Right
otherwise it's
on.
not Aussie. It's not Aussie otherwise.
Fair enough.
So, second largest city
Canberra.
in New South Wales. Okay, so you said Canberra. Doodle, do you have a guess at all? Because I don't expect you even to know any cities like in New South Wales.
Oh, you know what?
No, don't
That's
think
not
she's
even in South Wales, Canberra.
No, that's in ACT. But
That's
all right,
right.
so
South
all right,
Wales city.
all right. So I'm gonna go to the chat, and I'm a little bit suspicious
Newcastle.
here. Yeah, the answer is Newcastle, and the first person that wrote that in there was Breakfast Club again. So it looks like, but I don't know if Breakfast Club was cheating. Otherwise, she's really gone on Aussie stuff. But she might have been Google. Google might have been her friend. Yeah, Batmania. Oh, Ross, I know all about Batmania. I never knew Melbourne was called Batmania before it was called Melbourne. That freaked me out. All right.
Whiskey a go-go.
That was
So,
the only Ross.
Oh, she did
Batmania-
Google it. Yeah, she Googled. Oh, breakfast Googled. Disqualification.
She did. You know, when
So-
Rostock had
Yeah.
Mania, that was the only Ross joke ever that was real. That actually turned out to be true, you know?
Yeah.
That's why no one believed it. I didn't believe it. At
Yeah.
Mania.
All right. So guys, so no one else, I didn't check, but no one else wanted to come up. So unfortunately, like even Nikki didn't come over, even when she said I thought she was going to.
She's probably with Cosmic. Maybe she's with Cosmic.
I've never. No, it's just that I've
Okay.
never like. I've always tried to support Nikki. Like I thought she might wanted to be because she's never been on my live, so I thought maybe she might have jumped over, but it's okay. It's fine. So
next
anyway,
week.
guys, the next live that I know of, obviously Cosmic is live at the moment, I believe, but I also know that Breakfast Club is going live, I think in half an hour, and she's going to be doing some idea. I saw something about her and Nikki with some ideas, so I'm not sure what that's about. Brecky, if you want to tell us in the chat. Anyone? I'll probably be over there. I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I will probably listen to Brecky's.
Hey, don't eat too much.
No, while I'm on these Duromine, I'm not very hungry, but I am still trying to.
Fruits and the soup.
I don't know about soup. I don't really like soup too
fruit.
much.
Okay. Well.
Oh, sorry. I'm just going to kill us all with this intro. It's not ready to go on yet. I should have had it queued up and I closed it, so I had to open it again. What an unprofessional. All right, guys. So anyway, thank you you guys.
Becky had a good answer. Crocodile Dundee.
You know what? I always get asked about that movie all the time. Like if anyone says like, "Oh, where are you from?" and I'll go, Australia, and they'll go like, "Oh yeah, I love that Crocodile Dundee." It's like, oh my god, do you know like Paul Hogan lives in? Do you know Paul Hogan lives in the States? Fucking hell! Like he spent more time there.
Well, I kind of feel that way when someone says, "Oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken." I'm like, "Oh god."
Oh, thank God! I almost said that. I almost.
I'm more like racehorses and bluegrass.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I have actually a second cousin in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So when you go there, you can visit her. Yeah.
Well, I dated.
I have
a
first cousin in Christchurch. I
Yeah.
have a first cousin in Christchurch, New Zealand, and a second cousin in Melbourne.
Okay. Have you ever visited? Have you ever visited the cousins?
No, not yet. I'm
Okay.
about to.
Well,
probably will.
Melbourne's pretty far away, like 2 states away. I used to live in New South Wales. I used to live in Sydney, and now I'm like up further, so I'm about halfway up the east coast in Brisbane. Melbourne. I went there. I went to Melbourne when I dated somebody from Melbourne, and she moved from Melbourne to Sydney or whatever. And 3 years later, she went back to Melbourne. So it must be either Melbourne's a really good place or I suck. Probably both.
She never called back.
No, never called back. No, gone. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Ing, for coming on. Thank you, Doodle, for your first appearance. The first of many appearances,
Thank
I
you,
hope.
Casper.
This is not
pleasure, Ing.
this is not usually my day either. I mean, I'm just off today. I get back to work tomorrow, so it's Tuesday here. I usually do my lives on Saturday or Sunday. No, Saturday mornings, which is most people's Friday evenings. I don't know how that fits in with people, but I'll let you know.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Peace out to the chat. Thank you for coming. See you at Brecky's.
In Australia, we've got deadly animals aplenty. We've got funnel web spiders who'll murder you and your family. Under every second rock is a redback spider, and they'll kill you just because, I don't know, they're bored or whatever. We've got invisible brown snakes who'll bite you on the foot, and you'll be dead in 7 minutes. Just like that, kaput. We've got the world's deadliest creatures all over the place. We've got magpies who'll steal the eyeballs from your face. But at least we don't have AR-15s. We've got great white sharks who'll ascend from the deep and rip you in half with their razor-sharp teeth. We've got saltwater crocs who'll death roll you to death, and sea snakes who'll gladly snatch your last breath. We've got a blue-ringed octopus, no bigger than this, that just sits around in rock pools waiting to kill kids, and even the platypus, a cute beaver duck thing, has got a spur on its ankle that'll kill you in one sting. But at least we don't have AR-15s. Then at least they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic teens. We've got stonefish and stingrays and sea urchins and shit, and hectic fucking homicidal box jellyfish. And these jellyfish, they aren't even sentient beings. They don't even really do stuff or know about things. They just float around on the whim of the currents, being pointless, non-cognitive, murderous cunts. And if that weren't enough in terms of natural hazards, here in Australia, the sun causes cancer. But at least we don't have AR-15s. And at least they can't end up in the hands of suicidal teens. And at least we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change old laws. We've got bull sharks, cone shells, saltwater crocodiles, honeybees, European wasps and blue-ringed octopi, death adders, blue bottles, redback spiders, tiger sharks, tiger snakes and lizards that'll bite you. We got sea snakes, taipans, cassowaries, copperheads, all the creatures of the land and sky and sea that want you dead. Toadfish, stonefish, irukandji jellyfish, bull ants, centipedes and ticks that cause paralysis. Fuck, we don't have AR-15s. And thank fuck they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic suicidal teens. And thank fuck we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change some law. A law that was written 200 years ago, in a time when it took 3 minutes to reload a single round of ammunition. We knew nothing about depression, and you couldn't fire 45 rounds in 60 seconds. And there wasn't even such a thing as automatic weapons. And there weren't 31 mass shootings monthly. But what would I know, 'cause I'm from another country.
Peace out, guys.